What's up guys, Long here. Just wanted to show you a video of my common back and bicep exercises. These are by no means the best exercises in the world, but these are the ones that I enjoy doing, so maybe you can try them and see what you think. So the first thing that I want to do is I will just do a warm-up, which will be pull-ups. I can't really do that many at the moment because I actually just injured my wrist recently. So typically I will just do some light warm-ups. For this exercise it's just going to be just doing some pull-ups. I'm going to try to do maybe 3 sets, maybe 5 reps. For this set, the second set, I use a close grip. I'm trying to see if I can bring my chest up towards the ceiling for this one. This will be the final warm-up of my back, so this final set of doing the pull-ups. This time I'm using more of a standard grip. So the first exercise will be the machine row. This is the first set, and I'm actually trying to make sure that when I have my arms forward on the eccentric movement, I'm trying to make sure that my back is somewhat opened up, and then when I pull in on the concentric, I'm trying to squeeze as much as possible. So this will be first set. Typically I will do about 8 to 10 reps, sometimes a little bit more. So this is the second set of the machine row. Again, I'm just trying to have that overhand grip, and as I'm trying to extend my arms outwards, I'm really just trying to feel that stretch in my upper back muscle, and then I'm trying to squeeze as much as I can by pulling the handles back into me, and I find that really helps with the contraction. But also it's important to also feel the motion, so trying to make sure that you're feeling that squeeze as you're stretching out your arms, and just trying to maybe, if you can even maybe do a slight pause and then bring it back in. Something that I like to do when I'm using the machine row is setting the pad quite far out, not too close, because the pin, there's different numbers, and this is set to number 4. But if I set it to, let's say, 1, the distance of the chest would become too close. So it's actually a really good idea to have the chest support pad quite far out, so that when you're holding the handles, you already feel the contraction already starting. So that's actually very useful when I'm doing this, when I'm using the machine row. Another thing is that try to keep your chest comfortable on the pad, and try not to move too much back as you're pulling the bars back to you. So this is the final set of the machine row. Here I'm just trying my best to get as many reps as I can. I think with this one, I think I've got maybe 8 or maybe a bit more. But at this point I'm somewhat a little bit tired because I'm actually training in the morning as I'm doing this. So I'm just trying to rep as many as I can. I think I get 8 in this one. this is the next exercise. This is the seated lat pull down. I really enjoy doing this exercise because I feel like it leaves your legs kind of like you don't really need to worry about your lower half. You're just focusing on your upper half of your body. And something that I will try and do in terms of the grip is that I'll try to put it somewhat outside my shoulder width. In this example, it's quite far out, I feel, but sometimes you can do it a little bit closer or slightly outside your shoulder width. So definitely try to experiment with different ranges. You can do it very close or you can do it very far out, but I think with this one it's a little bit far out. Not too far, but it is slightly outside my shoulder width. This is the second set of my lat pull down. As I'm bringing the bar down, I'm just trying to make sure that I can go as low as I can. You don't need to bring the bar to chest height because some people may not have that flexibility. So I generally try to go as low as I can and as comfortable as I can. As I bring the bar down, I'm just trying to squeeze my back as much as possible, and in that lengthened portion, I'm trying to make sure that my arms are as stretched out as possible, almost trying to reach to the sky. So as I pull down, I'm squeezing on the concentric movement, and then on the eccentric where I'm trying to lengthen my arms, I'm trying to make sure that my face is just trying to touch the ceiling or touch the sky, because I want to try to feel that stretch as I'm pulling up. So this is the third set. Depending on your gym might have different bars that you can grip on. The gym that I go to has different kind of grips. So one of them is a mad grip. I really like using that grip as well because I feel that it really works the lower half of your back. But with this example, with this video here, I'm using just a straight, somewhat the straight bar, and so definitely give it a try if your gym does provide you with different bars. But this one I'm just using somewhat of a straight bar, but it's definitely good using it. And as you can see, I'm just trying to bring that down as much as possible, and I do get a bit tired at this point here as well. So this is the final set of my seated lat pull down. Here I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing it nicely, trying to make sure that as I'm putting down, I'm squeezing my back muscles, and then as I bring the bar up on the eccentric motion, just trying to reach as high as I can. By doing that, I find that you're really trying to feel that muscle, trying to kind of stretch. So when you're doing this, try to feel the muscle stretching out, and then as you're squeezing, just try to do your best to squeeze your back muscles, just so that you can feel that tension. So this is the final exercise that I like to do to work on my back. Specifically, I really find that this machine, the isolateral machine, really helps, really focuses on the obliques and also my lats. So if you do, most gyms will have this, so if you do have it, definitely try to give this a shot. This will be the first set, and I normally tend to go for between an 8 to 12 rep range, sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less, but it's usually within the 8 to 12 rep range. You will notice that with this first set, I'm actually just focusing on just one hand, or just one arm actually, because I prefer that. I find that when you're focused on just one arm, all your energy can be be used on that motion. But if you do both arms, I personally feel that you will tire out more quicker. So when I'm using the machine, I prefer to use just one arm at a time, just focusing on that one arm and that muscle really. This is set 2. When I'm using this machine, I'm trying to make sure that as I bring down the handle down, it's almost like I'm trying to put something into my pocket. So I'm just trying to feel that stretch as I'm going down, and then just doing the same thing on the other hand. So if you do use this machine, try to bring the handle down as much as possible, trying to think like you're trying to put it into your pocket. So this is set 3 of the iso lateral movement. Again, I really enjoyed using this machine. It's a very good machine, and I feel that it really tackles my obliques and also my lats. So it's definitely something that I enjoy doing, and when I feel that tension as I'm bringing my arm up and then down, it really kind of like interacts with my back muscles. So definitely a good machine to try out, and something that I would recommend everyone trying to do. This is set 4 of the iso lateral movement. With this one, I'm just trying to kind of go all out and just do as many as I can. I think I'm doing maybe 8 or 10, I can't remember. But with this last set, I'm just trying to make sure that I can feel that contraction as I'm putting the bar handle down, and feel that stretch as I'm bringing my arm up. It's really important that you feel that stretch, because for me, I really want to make sure that I'm engaging my obliques and my back and everywhere basically. So this is the last set, and I'm just trying to go through as many as I can in this last set. So for biceps, there's so many exercises that you can do. For this specific video, I wanted to show you a exercise that I really enjoy doing. In this case, it's the preacher curl, because I find that with this specific exercise, you can really focus on just one arm, and especially when you have muscle imbalances. My strongest arm is my right arm, so when I'm doing the preacher curl, I'm trying to make sure that on both arms I'm trying to engage the muscles as I'm doing the exercise. This is set 2 of the preacher curls, and something that I want to tell you guys is that when you're doing this exercise, try to make sure that as you're going down, you go all the way down. So do your best to have that lengthened position and try not to, half flip it. So with this exercise, because you've got the pad there, it really helps support your arm, and so you don't need to focus on anything else, but do your best to have that lengthened position, and by doing that it really helps engage your bicep muscle. So this is set 3, and on this occasion I reduced the weight so that I can get more control. Again, just trying to make sure that as I'm bringing my arm down on the eccentric motion, trying to feel that stretch, and as I'm bringing it back up, trying to do it nice and controlled, nice and slow. You don't want to rush it, you want to make sure that you're taking time, and it's something that I really enjoy doing when working on biceps. Doing the preacher curl is actually a very good exercise to do, especially when you have when you have any muscle imbalances. You can really just focus on that one arm. few reps or even on that last rep, it's always good to actually use your other hand just to support yourself so that you can bring the weight back up. So this is the final set. I've just changed the angle slightly, but again, I'm just doing the final set of my pre-curl, and you will also notice that towards the end I do actually use my other hand just to support myself to bring the weight back up, just as an aid. But you wouldn't want to do that in the initial part. Just make sure that you do that at the end where you're pretty much fatigued, and you can use your other arm just to help you, just to aid you really. So just to end the session, I'm just doing some quick posing, very amateur, very beginner, but just trying to make sure that I can see any striations. I'm just trying to see how I've come from, like, for the past 16 months now that I've been training doing this now. So I'm just trying to do some posing, seeing where I need to improve on, and just seeing what I look like in the mirror, and also seeing at different angles as well. Again, just doing some different, just trying to pose in front of the mirror, just trying to see different lighting and seeing if I can see any kind of muscle definition in my shoulders and maybe in my biceps as well. At some point I'll probably take my shirt off, and when I'm ready I'll do that, but at the moment I prefer having it on right now. But I'm just trying different lighting, just seeing how I look like, and seeing if I can see the growth in my upper body really.